In spite of invisibility curses, whatever, nobody can make a person enough, like all of Earth's people, essentially ignore the cross. Because at the end of the day, God himself has said that the gospel of the kingdom of the Lord Jesus Christ will be preached to all the world, and then the end will come. So where people must hear the gospel, they will hear it. And where they won't hear it, they won't hear it. God sows tares among wheat, and he makes out of his servants fishers of men. So even if you do a stupid little invisibility curse with an imp spirit chilling on it, there will be people that will watch my content whether or not you are disincentivizing them by spirits not to watch it. So I am not blocked by magic. I am blocked by actual sabotage. But those who sabotage are not going to be able to sabotage me anymore because they will fear what in the world is going to happen to them. You are not going to succeed. You are not going to be able to have access to me, cite me for another 4 years. I'm leaving soon. Not yet South Africa, just these YouTube channels. But I'm only going to leave once your little deadbeat harlot of a Madima Matlakala finally dies. She's going to try to stay alive. She's going to try and look around to basically be very careful, like a little child crossing the street. Look left, look right again, look left again. And yes, she will still die in that most horrible capacity. She is living in a nightmare now where death is going to find her, catch her, and pounce on her, because even though every so often she's got conviction of sin, and even though every so often she's uncomfortable with what she's doing, even though every so often she wants to stop, and even though every so often she recognizes that she's a hypocrite that is destroying the lives of women as a woman, she then watches my content, sees how pretty I am, competes with my verbosity, what she calls verbosity, competes with my eloquence, my soapbox speeches, and feels like, listen, I don't compare. And her envy, it's written in God's word that envy is overwhelming and fury is a flood, but who can stand before jealousy? Anger is overwhelming and fury is a flood, but who can stand before jealousy? She is too jealous to leave me alone. And she is too invested in financially by the syndicate to quit her job and get an actual life, man. She is a degreed woman that is much too old to be working a job as a moderator. Could indeed work other careers, but she doesn't, because she's like an embezzler of funds in a bank that takes 1 cent out of a bank account over 50 years and ends up with millions. She's making too much money from a stupid job to leave. And so she's gonna die. As for when she dies, or when she gets eliminated, I can't tell you. But once she's out the way, I, as Karabo says, Hlongwane, I'm going to successfully leave. She has to die in these fashions. Be she either employed for at YouTube or even outside, because there is already an investigation done by, yes, I said it, the FBI in the US about the syndicate in Africa. There will ultimately be a bipartisan decision on the part of America to take out YouTube from African countries that are this full of corruption in utilizing their platforms for their own purposes. I told you that this investigation is going to unravel years worth of abuse. Listen, I'm speaking like almost a decade, maybe even over a decade of abuse on American platforms by corrupt African subsidiaries, if you will. And they will have so used and abused and harassed and refused certain people to essentially have thriving YouTube channels that America's going to be like, listen, all these years, we have not known how much corruption there is. We don't know how deep the rabbit hole goes, but they're going to find out how deep it goes to a point of extracting their offices from certain places in Africa and outsourcing them either elsewhere or even bringing it in-house because it will be worth their while. After all, information is indeed a war tactic. It's a war weapon. It is a nation's power. And social media for America is their war tactic. It is their strategy. It is their power. You don't get to use it to propagate your own agendas, especially when those agendas are anti-America or anti-Israel or anti-allies of America. And South Africa is all those things in combination. You're abusive. So when then these investigations are happening, people are going to lose their jobs. They're going to get fired. This chick is sleeping with her boss. I made mention of that in my shorts. She is a harlot of prolific proportions. Her boss knows that she is shoddy and doing something strange. Her boss, however, since every so often he has her body in the parking lot of the office, is just turning a blind eye. But when then, in my shorts, I made a joke about how it is that, listen, are you going to seduce an FBI agent too? Her boss is not going to be able to stand against the investigation that is coming furiously from God, from the US in total. So her boss is going to basically throw her under the bus on some, listen, we understand, we appreciated all the fellatio you gave me over many years. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to lose my life, my career, my whole job over this. This chick is going to get fired very, very shortly. And she's going to get fired apprehensively even by those who would have been willing to stand with her, because after all, now America is investigating. People are going to cover their necks. And so she's going to find herself out on a limb. The Lord then showed me that she's going to end up homeless, a hobo. She is going to try to become a prostitute and fail. And this is then going to leave her basically in a homeless fashion, where she's going to be living from pillar to post, struggling to make ends meet. And it'll be in this season that she's going to get hit by a car. When she dies, this news will travel. And her colleagues are going to learn that she died in that fashion that Karabo said, while there will be also another one chilling while busy monitoring. That is not going to be easily busted by the investigation. That is going to just drop dead in the middle of her monitoring experiences. And then, thanks to these news traveling, coursing through the veins of understanding in all the other monitors, chilling at Facebook, chilling at especially YouTube, but all the other social media platforms, this thing is going to become a taboo across them all. There's then going to be information spread and understanding, listen, communicated that this stuff is dangerous. These guys claimed that they've got more power and that we're always going to be set for life when we hang out with them. Well, people are dying. And whatever they're doing is killing even us. That's why I had a dream where it is that these guys, I went and grabbed all their cars and impounded them in my grandmother's yard and told them, get the step in. They're going to lose their power, even their minions. When then they have no minions, albeit being stalkers, we understand. When you've got Jadena out here obsessed over Bambi. When you have got Jadena obsessed over Bambi. Listen, he's going to follow you. I've got an American feverish little spiteful baboon of a cancer toe, literally having scrummaged by nothing but sheer volition and determination to find my content, even though I'm so badly shadow banned. He found me. A stalker will find you wherever you go. No, not wherever. If you hide well, he won't find you. But your strategy against a stalker is to move until that stalker dies. While that little baboon from the US is gonna swallow a bullet from suicide, because he's ultimately going to observe me get married in spite of his decision to hide me. He is, however, so minuscule and so small order, and in and of himself, he can't be any kind of true effective with his witchcraft since he practices voodoo. He needs to use occult practitioners at a higher level. He's not that dangerous to me, even though he is exceptionally pestilent. But God will not have him out here give me a buzzing bee in my ear when I'm busy getting married, when I'm busy having children, and then he decides to come at my pregnancies, etc. So God is going to take him out. Got self-inflicted gunshot wound in his mouth. He's going to do that to himself. That's his judgment. And I don't know when it's going to come. I spoke about him in my other video. There is, however, a man that God has shown me that he's got to go out because he's got way more power. He's got way more money. And even though he's struggling to make as much as he used to make because you keep on coming against his finances, he still has enough money to pay very high order Satanists that can frazzle you for 4 days, making you feel exorbitantly suicidal. And I don't want him anywhere around the earth anymore. He's done for. So he is going to pass away, either at his own hands, because he is exceptionally depressed right now, morbidly. He wants to take himself out. God showed me that he's like Ricky Rick, after killing himself while having a perfectly thriving wife and children. But the Lord showed that if he does not end his own life, he will take him with a heart attack. There's nothing this guy can do. He's a reptilian. He is obsessed like the guy in the US, but he's got too much money and too much influence, and he is too high level in the occult for me to be safe marrying and doing whatever I want to do with him feeling entitled to me, because after all, he has spent copious amounts of money to get me and feels entitled like those two fatzos that killed those two women because I took you to a hotel and fed you ribs, and then you did not give me sex, and then papa, live rounds in their heads, just killed them. Killed two best friends. This guy will keep on pursuing you because he's just going to look at how much money he invested in witchcraft concerning you. And while he may want to let you go, he's going to get out and pursue you anyway. I have had dreams where the Lord has shown me this guy saying time and time again, after every last one of my shows, every last one of my videos, I have had dreams of him saying, Kothra, Kothra, Kothra. That means forget it, forget it, forget it. You're not going to get her. But then he's like, I sorry, Mara, but I can't. Holds his lip and is like, no, but I like her. Papa, this guy's married with a myriad of diseases. And he thinks that I am up for the grabbing. He thinks that he is Solomon with multiple concubines and wives, and that I am going to marry him anyway because he's a king in Israel. He does not know God, but just like all these other randos, like Joshua, profession of faith on his tongue, he thinks that the day's going to come when I finally embrace what he got to say. And the thing that is giving him all this bravado is my, just in like lingering poverty, my lingering sorrow, the state of affairs that you're gazing at today. That's his motivation. You can't keep on dancing and prancing yourself around in front of psychopathic stalking men like that. The other day I had a dream where it is that you see these pins in my hair, all this decoration, and these earrings. I changed up my jewelry. I was showing you new jewelry that I purchased from Temu. I was out there looking all pristine and stellar like that, adorning myself with jewels because I get to. I'm Esther. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And these men looking at me like a little girl parading herself in a fetishistic modeling competition in front of sexual predators that love children. I was literally reduced to a child. It was me as Karabo. I know myself, but like I look so much like a child in that dream, and I was parading myself in front of fetishistic pedophiles. The Lord was showing me, at some point you gotta go. You have to leave your ministry, because for as long as these men have access to your content, they will always try and lick you and get you and take you by force, because you're like a child with no resources, but they love you. And so they will always just try to take you. You cannot disappear from them successfully while there are moderators at YouTube giving them your YouTube channels. You will only be able to run away successfully, because that's what you need to do when you're dealing with a stalker. Those that God is not going to kill. You will only be able to successfully run away. If at all, they don't know where you're at. So I am doing the elimination of understanding in basically disincentivizing all these moderators that give them information and their bosses from essentially helping the syndicate. And once they are too scared to help the syndicate, you then can move your YouTube channel from one place to another. They will let you grow, but these guys will search in the darkness, just like the men of Sodom being made blind and not be able to find you. It is in this season that then they will start to drop like flies and see that they're done for, and in so intensifying their heat, condemn themselves. First, however, a very jealous fever of a woman gotta die. Madimabe, she's got a personal agenda with me. I don't even know what's going on over there. It's like we grew up together. Madimabe gotta die. She gotta be fired and then die, following which one of her colleagues also has to drop dead while reading emails, not emails, sorry, but while watching videos in order to get feedback for rituals. And many other such things happen that are gonna freak out teams at YouTube while they're being investigated. Until these people don't have anybody working for them anymore willingly anyway. Then only are you going to be able to start your YouTube channel and grow and grow. And they will have to be like everybody else who get recommended your content. One day when they're just going through YouTube and there is a new video and it's got 5,000 views, 5,000 subscribers. Only once you have enough subscribers, enough life, enough people, enough of basically a presence of healthy people in your life. Only then can these people then see you again. And when then they see you again from this state, they're going to realize they've been defeated. Some of them may or may not repent. Others will, in their insistence, essentially condemn themselves, while others will just walk away, let go, and realize that there is power in Christ that is, listen, unextinguishable, like that inferno that is going to linger for all of eternity. It's unextinguishable. The fire does not quench. They will realize that God is an all-consuming fire that cannot be extinguished. And so for those reasons, they will say, listen, going forward, let's focus on those that are not Christian. And then, since these people, some of them are politicians, they run the country, they run companies, businesses in the private sector in this land. They're going to see what they've done to the economy by basically hurting the church with their little satanic misogynistic strategies, and they're just going to stop because South Africa is going to struggle to recuperate after what they have started. This cancer that has spread through them. They're going to struggle to recuperate. They're going to struggle to recover, and when then they struggle to recover or recuperate, they will simply stop because, after all, just like Zoom, that little idiot, listen, I'm going to kill the multiverse, I'm going to destroy the multiverse, but I'm going to keep Earth one because, after all, I need to have somewhere to hang my coat. They were naive enough to fathom that they could destroy so very many facets of the country and somehow strangely still be left with a country to hang their coat. South Africa is going to be a fraction of what it used to be. It will be unrecognizable. Therein lies that word that Joshua loves. The earth will be unrecognizable by 2026, so there's not going to be a World Cup. This is the true unrecognizable. What's going to be unrecognizable is not so much the planet, just South Africa. And when then this little Raccoon City crazy ground zero of a zombie apocalypse country endures this unrecognizability, some of its CEOs, some of its heads of staking, people chilling in government, parliament, all that jazz, are not going to be able to carry on anymore. They're not going to be able to carry on anymore because, after all, at the end of the day, this here mission that they tried to achieve in order to build a country and make it all better has ruined it. So if you have nowhere to play golf, bugger, like proper stop. If you have no mall to go to that still has all the stores, your favorite shops, your favorite restaurants, when they're all closing down, when they're all getting liquidated, on that day you will stop ka mona, ka moya, o mobe, ka dipe, tsa satane, ka boloyi, ka go twala, ka go twasa, ka nonsense, and ka go extracta bozalwane from Zanzi. You will stop trying to take Christ out of South Africa. You will finally realize upon getting on your knees that you have ruined your country, and so since you have nowhere to play golf, you idiot, you will stop. But by then, your FMCGs will be empty. You'll go into Spar and you're not going to find whole nut chocolate. You will struggle to find certain brands on the shelves. And since you will have impoverished South Africans, they will have preferred international brands in comparison to South African brands. South Africans will have gone over to Temu, to Amazon, to everywhere else to buy their things because, listen, they cannot afford stuff in South African stores. I told you guys that I went to Lovisa to the mall the other day. All right, I went to Lovisa. I was at the mall at Clearwater, and among the stores I went into is Lovisa because y'all know I love jewelry. Lovisa is a jewelry store in this country. That's where I used to buy all of my nose rings and whatnot. Well, I stopped buying from Lovisa ever since I found Temu. I only went into Lovisa to see what the prices of things at Lovisa are that I have bought, that I now today consider frankly ridiculous. And indeed, just as before, you'll be out to finding one little ring at Lovisa that looks like this for like a good 180 rands. You'll be finding one little ring at Lovisa that looks like this for 250 bucks. You'll be finding earrings like this at Lovisa for 275 rands. Yeah, pop-up. Like this earring, you find it at Lovisa for like 250 bucks. Their prices are ridiculous, and I was like, but what am I like about you? You'll be finding stars that are very cute in a small little package at Lovisa, like retailing for a cool 120 rands. And I was like, oh my goodness, like Papa, people walk in here and they actually buy stuff, but I used to do that. But how does Lovisa get bankrupted? Buy everything from Temu. And I have a purchase that finally arrived from Temu right now to show you that South Africa is on its way out. There's a whole bunch of earrings in here. This entire package cost me 800 rands. The duties were 180 bucks. I want to show you what 800 rand bought me at not Lovisa, but Tovisa, otherwise known as Temu, selling things from Lovisa. This year is going to bankrupt your economy, but this year had to happen because this year is something that you ought to have not foreseen. Because if at all you're going to extract Jesus out of a country, you can't expect to be prosperous on that day. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and turn from their wicked ways, I will come down from heaven and hear their prayers, and I will heal their land. But like proper, if at all you don't do a better thing, I'm going to bring famine to your country because you don't get to take out Christianity and live. Even in the millennial reign of the Lord Jesus Christ, it is written that if a country does not come to worship Christ or at the feast of booths, of tabernacles, whatever, you're going to get famine. Well, I mean, that's how God is. That's how he has always operated. You don't get to disregard me and get rain. You don't get to disregard me and still eat some avocados on avocado season. You don't get to destroy the church and cause Christians to move out of South Africa and maintain your retail stores and maintain your economy. You don't get to do any of such things. This chick at YouTube is gonna die. The guy Ona Ohlanyang that has paid a whole bunch of things that feels entitled to my body, feels like he's paid too much money to be out here not getting anything in return. He is gonna die either from suicide or a heart attack. Something's gonna take him out, but he's gotta go. Then there's the Butmadesa that is gonna fall off a building, his own house in a terrace. I already spoke about him to his demise. He is Abinadab. Not Abinadab, but he is like Saul dying in battle with Abinadab. Now, I don't know if the 60-something-year-old guy is this guy's dad, because the other guy is more or less my peer. He is more or less my peer. While there is a guy that's like the age of my mom, and the guy who is my peer is the one that's like, but I spent too much money. While the other guy that is like the age of my mom pretty much is also entitled to me. And I had a dream where Saul died in battle with his son Abinadab, and the Lord showed me that they both do rituals together. I dared go and ask the Lord, listen, is this a father and son pair? Are they doing rituals on the same woman? Are they literally calling dibs on a woman as father and son? But tell anybody to like that. And then the Lord gave me a vision of I've seen the show Narcos. Like, I used to watch Netflix, okay? I allowed myself to watch crazy stuff. Narcos is the show of Pablo Escobar. There was a guy in one of the shows in Narcos that died being pretty much apprehended by the Colombian police or whatever from a helicopter with his son. God showed me that scene in Narcos of one of the kingpins of, I don't know if it's the Sinaloa cartel or the Medellin cartel. I think it might be part of the Medellin cartel, Angas, that got killed trying to run away from the police that were overhead in a helicopter. And a hail of bullets stopped their vehicle, and he died with his son that he was training up in basically the craft of narco dealing. And his son was in that particular show. It looked like he could have been a teenager or just freshly out of his teenage years, but he was so incredibly obnoxious because his dad was a kingpin narco boss, and they died together, having been killed by the Colombian police, right? When the walls were starting to close in on the, I believe, Medellin cartel. I stand corrected. Okay. Yeah, because the Sinaloa cartel is the one that basically came up against Pablo Escobar and everybody in order to take them out the way until the Colombian police were enabled by the Sinaloa cartel. I stand corrected. Whatever, it's all those stories. God then gives me a vision of that scene in the show Narcos to show me that there is going to be a father-son pair that's going to die, listen, on the same day. And the Lord not only showed me that scene in the movie, in the show Narcos, but he also told me in a word of understanding, Saul and Abinadab. And when I went to Google to search what in the world was going on with these two, Saul was Abinadab's son, and they both died in the same battlefield on the same day. So I believe now, based on asking God and then getting the vision from Narcos, having heard all these months that Saul and Abinadab die in battlefield on the same day, I then basically put 2 and 2 together and figured that the entitled psychopath that was chilling like ramen noodles in front of a crawling baby in a mall is the son of the 60-something-year-old guy that has also been all up in my grill like white on rice, and that they're gonna die on the exact same day, bereaving a widow who is gonna lose a son and a husband in one day. Okay, so when then Saul and Abinadab die, this is yet gonna be more stuff that's gonna cause all of their minions to be like, listen, they died on the same day like Karabo said. And one of them, like the Kimang Abinadab, the son, I've seen him killing himself from suicide and then being like, oh my goodness, God, I can't believe I'm in hell, because he didn't think that hell was a thing. But I've also seen him just drop dead from a heart attack, and I'm like, God, which one is it? And he's telling me that they're gonna try and elude death, all of them. They're gonna try and run away from it. The prophecies you've given as to how they die, they're gonna try and elude it, but it's gonna catch up with them anyway, and they're gonna die. They have to go because they feel entitled, and they run these cults. They have invested their life's work in these cults. They've got missions for the entire country as to how they want it to run, and they gotta go. And according to the Lord, one is a billionaire and the other is a millionaire. And so I would imagine clearly that the billionaire is the dad, while the millionaire is the son, and they're gonna die on the same day. There is also another hefty moneyed guy, millionaire, that will upon observing all of these crazy things, repent and give his life to Christ as Saul on the road to Damascus. And I had a dream of this one particular guy, literally with trepidation and consternation, hanging out at the Red Sea with the Hebrews, waiting for it to split because he decided to pay his allegiance to the Hebrews and divorce Egypt. So essentially he allowed himself to have Passover blood on his doorpost because he ran away when he saw that, listen, we're not going to be safe here. And he is Saul on the road to Damascus. And this Saul on the road to Damascus is going to be instrumental in the uprooting of many of these cultic activities in South Africa. He's going to essentially help the country start a journey to clean the dirty kitchen that they muddied with all their tomato sauce. But he's going to lose a great deal of reputation, clout, respect, and in the end of his life, he's just going to be a little bit of a no-brainer, but a very godly one. That's what happens when you serve the devil. So, Abinadab and your daddy Saul, even his dad has calmed down. The billionaire rando artificial intelligence baboon, he's calmed down, but his son is so determined because I guess he got energy. He's a guy in either his late 30s or 40s. He's more my peer. His dad, however, is like, yo, hi, lo muntu lona. His dad is like Hugh Hefner. He's just a gross old guy. A gross old guy. And everybody in that equation got all kinds of diseases. And they got wives that they're literally causing to crawl up some walls like some ants. Very well. Now, what you need to understand is that the defeatism in the black community has caused this thing. It has caused cults to thrive in a nation that used to be godly. And now you're going to lose the best of your people, mourn, weep, and only your children will have some kind of a semblance of a normal future. But I'm going to look at the billows of smoke as they're bubbling in the sky, with people's bodies having been put in the ground, and so they can't follow me around to wish me on my wedding day and be like, listen, I warned you for a cool decade where you saw it fit to make out of me a geriatric, a spinster that ought to be popping babies in her 40s. You did that. So you deserve for me to be from a distance like Vanessa Williams, from a distance, watching the billows of smoke. You're not going to be able to keep on pursuing me because once the Lord gives me the green light, I'm going to move YouTube channels. And so you're not going to be able to search and find me. And when then you can't search and find me, you will have to then deal with whatever content remains. But nobody's going to be able to watch me just age with nothing and throw spells and feel obsessed with me and fetishistically fantasize about who I am. So in going back then to the fantasy, that bamboon that killed Hlongwane in front of everybody, I fantasized seeing as I don't fear death. I fantasized about being in at that tavern at that fateful moment and grabbing any sharp object around, seeing as nobody is intervening, and just pounce on him at the back and just go in with a knife like 10 times. And then sing cell block tango if the South African justice system that has no justice at all decides that I'm gonna go to jail for killing a guy that was trying to kill another woman, that I was supposed to just let this guy kill another woman, I will literally sing cell block tango at that particular moment. I would sing cell block tango at that particular moment, and then when I am being prosecuted by Umchuchisi, as he's out asking me why I went and pounced on a man like an orangutan and drove a knife into his head or into his back, I would say, no, I didn't kill him. He ran into my knife. He ran into my knife 10 times. He had it coming. He had it coming. He only had himself to blame. Hlongwane is in the court with a bandage on her side, having only gotten one stab wound instead of like, what, 8 or 10? I don't know how many times, 11? She was stabbed. I literally fantasize, seeing as I'm not scared of death, about grabbing something sharp because as a woman, you cannot just be out to killing a man with your bare hands. You can't just climb on him. You know how I told you about the Nigerian guy whose girlfriend's older sister climbed on him like an orangutan and he just shook them off like dandruff on his scalp. Shook them off. And dandruff after chilling on your jersey like that, he was just gonna shake me off. And with all of his adrenaline and fever and killing a woman, he would have then also turned around and stabbed me. After all, did he not go home and stab his next girlfriend a couple of times while she made it? I would have spared 2 women. One I would have spared a wound, the other one I would have spared Hades. I remember just fantasizing about the fact that now that I'm born again and I'm bold, I don't have the cowardice, and being a woman sick and tired of frankly just kind of standing back and watching other men stand back watching women get killed. I would have grabbed anything sharp, and I mean, this is the Gassi, tow bar, anything, and just gone in for the kill. Goodness, it's a tavern. There has got to be a can opener, anything, and just go in this guy's like back just a couple of times. That even if I receive a fatal wound on my side, I would have weakened him enough for other people to maybe intervene and bring him to the ground. And if I go to eternity, at least I'm in heaven. I'm born again. But Hlongwane gets to live and give her life to Jesus Christ. Ask yourself, what was that woman? Who was she? Oh my goodness, look at the embarrassment of men at a tavern that also had pieces, guns, to shoot this guy in Jeffela in the head, shoot him in the foot, anything. and then run away because you don't want your bullet to be traced back because your weapon is unlicensed, but at least you have stopped and apprehended. Therefore, a dude that actually eliminated a woman while everybody was recording. I fantasized about literally stabbing that guy to death. That's where you have put a God-fearing woman that is so scared of gazing upon ghoulish scenes that she could not watch the October 7 massacres in Israel. Neither could I watch Charlie Kirk getting killed. I could not watch it. And yet I could fathom it in my mind, driving a knife like I am in Cell Block Tango 10 times into the back of a man because he just was not stopped ramming into a woman with his knife. And then he went home and stabbed the girlfriend that he was dating at that time a couple of times, but she made it. What the heck? This is South Africa. So women must not take up arms. We now gotta have a rap sheet. We now gotta have blood on our hands. Is that what's going on? The Pharaoh sex that don't necessarily kill very easily. You know how the Bible says that, not the Bible, sorry, Mara, there is a show on TLC called Snapped, Women Who Kill. Yeah, it takes a lot for a woman to kill. She snaps, essentially. But men, crimes of passion. I know, they travel with guns. Something that some women just can't fathom. So manje, if at all a man is dead at the hands of a woman, understand she had to have caught him off guard. She had to have caught him off guard. And she had to have come to him, at him, with some kind of paraphernalia, a tool. She can't do it by herself. A garden ornament, a rake, a spade, a kitchen knife, celepe in the kitchen, and just out here multiple times throw it in his direction because it takes long for him to die. After all, he's got all that man muscle, but then he's gone. And now people survive his reign of terror. Instead, they just watched. I, however, would have been traumatized by the observation of all the blood I shed. But that's the only way that then Hlongwane would have made it, right? But then this is now the exact thing that I'm talking about. Hlongwane. I'm crying over what the world calls spilled milk. People's daughters are freaking spilled milk. Are we for real? They're spilled milk. She's dead, Karabo. You can fantasize and run again in your mind what you would have done if you were there. But then again, that's the thing. I would never have been there. It's a tavern. All I could do was just run the tape in my mind. But it is spilled milk, and when your daughter is spilled milk, I'm sorry. What country are you living in? What manner of heinous insult to God is this? I cannot take it. I am only alive today because I'm in Christ and I pray. But I would have been a victim of gender-based violence. I would have been rammed into multiple times. I would have been killed trying to leave a man, and he would have driven over my body 3 times to make sure I'm dead. I also would have been hung on a tree 9 months pregnant, 8 months pregnant, like Pule. I also would have been stabbed to death like Karabo and then had my body burned to a crisp, and your mother only identifies you by your toes. I also would have been buried underneath a bathtub like Dolisha Balala. I also would have been found burned into a crisp in a bush like Uyinen. I also would have found myself in eternity because I've got a whole bunch of possessive ex-boyfriends, thoroughly of the imagination that over my dead body before you will go out there and live. Listen, you idiots. I will indeed leave, and you will then die if you try to stop me. Every last one of you that don't repent, you will be knocked out by an indeed funeral. But if you repent, you will have to just mourn like the rest of us, because everybody else in these streets is normal, right? Who, when the love of your life marries another woman, you like, oh, I heard church bells ringing, I heard a choir singing, I saw my love walk down the aisle, on her finger he placed a ring. Like Etta James, you will sing a listless song where you will literally say, all I could do was cry. All I could do was cry. Not take matters into my own hands, bewitch him, make sure that his wife can't have babies, blah, blah. What are you doing? All you get to do when the love of your life marries another woman or man is cry. Nothing else. I've done my time in those dungarees and that prison gear. I have mourned over a dude that I thought was my future husband that went and married someone else, and I heard church bells ring. That was me. I heard a choir singing, I saw my love. I didn't see my love walk down the aisle. I found out a year later that he walked down the aisle. On her finger he placed the ring. Oh. I saw them holding hands, and all I could do was cry, and I cried for months, but I moved on. And today I can't stand him because he's, again, another sorcerer. I'm moved on. All we get to do is cry, seek the Lord's face, realize we were naive to think someone was a husband before God confirmed it. All we get to do is cry. But if they don't want to make like Etta James and out here, snot and drana with pus coming out of their noses, just cry, die. If you don't want to cry, then die. If you don't want to cry when your ex-girlfriend gets married, die. Because you don't get to stand in the way and be a chock-a-block of her wedding day. You don't get to miscarry all her pregnancies. You don't get to basically rock up where she is on honeymoon with her husband and kill them both. Because then on that day, listen, God's gonna come for you, gadi washing, and you're not gonna be able to escape. If you don't want to cry, then you die. And South Africa is full of men that just don't want to freaking cry. And I'm like, Yazin, die. You've made people want nothing to do with you. So herein lies the country that you have built from scratch. I know that I gotta leave my YouTube channels. I went to Clearwater Mall to go to Telkom Mobile in order to go and purchase 3 new SIM cards because I knew that I would need very soon to start a YouTube channel. New YouTube channels. when you have a YouTube when you have a YouTube channel, you have to verify with your cell phone number. And seeing as the existing cell phone numbers that I have got are already linked to certain YouTube channels, I can only verify 2 YouTube channels with 1 cell phone number. So I got 3 cell phones, not 3 cell phones, but 3 SIM cards. That's what this purse of mine was like. That's why I went to Clearwater Mall, and it was an urgency that I felt in my spirit, because I knew that a stalker won't leave you alone. Because after all, he doesn't want to cry. He gotta die, right? He doesn't want to cry. He's rather gonna die. So plan, Karabo, to move. And I remember being like, God, at what point, when should I leave? I'm not sure. I feel as if I've already done content to rebuke these monstrosities, but I want to share it. However, I also want to know when to stop and when to move. I was like, Father, I want to know when to stop and when to move. I want you to pretty much let me know as to when is the opportune moment to finally, essentially get up, pack my bags, and leave. Where are these little thingy-mabobbies? Because I thoroughly bought them. Where did I put them? Are they what fell on the ground? No, they didn't. Something fell on my mom's car floor, and I thought it was my SIM cards. I went to Telkom Mobile to get 3 SIM cards. They recut. They've got 20 rands airtime. Do you want airtime? I don't need it. I have no one to call. Anyway, whatever. They've got 20 rands airtime, and I'm gonna put these 3 SIM cards in. I guess I've got 3 devices, but listen, it depends. For no other reason but to start new YouTube channels and get my YouTube channels verified so that I can immediately start posting content that is longer than 15 minutes, and immediately start posting content that is not whose advanced features are available, so that I can be able to have clickable links and all that jazz. I want to be able to do that. I don't want it to take a minute and a day, so I needed SIM cards. That's why I went to go and get SIM cards. Of course I'm only going to start using these SIM cards once I have moved over to other places. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Like, this is a foreshadowing of me leaving the country altogether. I'm leaving so that these monsters that watch my content are not going to be able to surveil me, of the imagination that, listen, I'm going to delay the inevitable and sit around until she's 45 years old. Then only I will be satiated in my insanity. I'm leaving, but I cannot leave. That's the thing. While this harlot at YouTube is still alive, she has to die. She has to be eliminated. She has to be moved out the way. She has to be exsanguinated like blood out of a victim of a very tragic accident. She has to essentially be moved out the way right next to a whole bunch of other calamitous events happening to cause a ripple of fear inside moderators, especially at YouTube, to dare give any of my YouTube channel details to these monsters that are destroying South Africa. So like everybody else, if you want to find Karabo's channel, do like everybody else, bugger. You don't be getting no emails. Search, go hunting, grab a torch, idiot, and start hunting. But you're not gonna find me, you know why? Because you're like the men of Sodom. They're saying, bring the angels out so we can have sex with them. You're perverts. God is gonna blind you. And the very next day, he's gonna burn your city with fire and brimstone. So no, I won't have to get my hands bloody in killing the murderer of Hlongwane. God himself is gonna knock you out like a domino. And from a distance, I'm gonna hear that God ended you. And seeing as I'm squeamish, I won't have to gaze at your corpse, your dead body, nothing. I will just merely know that you're dead. And so, hooray. Yeah. While I was at the store, I went to Discam to buy Vaseline because I needed a new tub of Vaseline. And it's over there. I also bought a new lip therapy. But then on my way back to the vehicle, I decided to just hop into Lovisa to see what in the world are these guys doing, so as to basically confirm that I'm leaving in South Africa. You're gonna stay in an icy, frosty, cold igloo-in, like as in making like an igloo Antarctic like economy that can't be thawed until you repent. You won't be able to defrost. And when then I happened upon all those expensive jewels at Lovisa, I was like, I got a package from Temu at home that just delivered my beautiful, gorgeous earrings that I bought in total. This whole package cost 800 bucks in total. And yet you be out here getting one little ring at Lovisa for 250 rands. I was like, this is why your economy is dying. So I'm gonna open my package right now to help you understand what I bought from international markets that are gonna destroy the South African economy. These things are happening, and this lady that is out here showing you all these evidences of God's fingerprint of judgment on a nation. Yeah, you're not gonna see me one day. I'm just gonna go voop, joop, disappear like a magician, except I'm in Christ. You're not gonna know whether you're coming or going. This here it was part of a whole package deal. This is not jewelry, not jewelry, sorry, but it's not earrings, but it's things that you put on your cornrows or on your braids, jewels that decorate your hair. And I was like, me, I want it. I love it. I just want to show you example. I bought these and I think they cost me just like 50 rand, 23 rand, that 23 for the whole thing. There was quite a lot of them, like 23 bucks. And this is just one of the many things that came in that one price deal. This is what this is. It's something that you can put on your braids, like, you know, your cornrows, or even your cornrows, or even your box braids, in order to basically decorate yourself with like gold, what do you call this thing? Like gold gorgeosities. Like, I don't know what you want to call it, like a gold row? A gold row. Like, it gets to be called a gold row. Like a gold row, like that, in order to make your hairstyle like super decorated and cute in cornrows, or if not cornrows, box braids, because I sometimes do box braids. Last time I did box braids, but with pink fiber. I prefer black, frankly, for everything. That's why this time around I did not get box braids, because I only have pink fiber. I didn't buy black fiber from Paper or whatever, so I just did cornrows with my own natural hair. But I bought these things because I wanted to decorate my hair with like gold jewels, gold things. I'd like proper, let's just call them gold rows. I wanted to decorate my afro hair with these gold rows to make that kind of cute establishment. I mean, I think you get the point, okay? Like, I mean, do you not think that that is gorgeous? If my hair was a lot neater, it would be popping even more, because I just love jewels, and I know that I'm not gonna get stuck, be left stranded in these uneasy streets that are not marvelous, be left stranded in these unmarvelous streets, to be gazed upon by pedophiles that look at me like I'm a little child. And so all they want to do is gobble me whole like I am Mayo. No, I'm sorry. South Africans, you did nothing about the dastardly satanic insistence upon the females of your earth. And so for those reasons, you who live on Earth 1 as Zulu, you have destroyed the whole entire nation, and nobody literally cares what you're doing. That's what I wanted to do with that. Okay, this is not put enough. From the front, you can low-key kind of see what's going on over there. But then turn to the right and you're like, da-na-na-na, is it not giving? Deep-a-na-na-na, cute. Yeah, I bought that. I want to take them off now, my head, but let's just finish the video while I'm recording, because I don't want to frizz up my hair by ripping them out or even tear my hair. I bought that, but it comes in a package, and we're going to see the whole thing that comes in a package mixed together with it. But for now, let's close it. I don't know how much these would cost at Clicks. I don't know how much they would cost at Discam. I just know that at Lovisa, where they sell not so much hair accessories, or sometimes they do, it's just really expensive. Like, I bought all these things, like these pins, Lovisa, these earrings, Lovisa, just not Lovisa, sorry, but Temu, shopping like a billionaire. These ones make me go gaga crazy, as in like I'm losing my mind, okay? It's these loopy earrings that are literally crazy. They are insane. I love them. Look at these babies. How much do you think these will set you back at Temu? I'm shopping like a billionaire. Temu, not Temu. I keep on mixing the two. Lovisa. Hey, this stuff is actually gonna massacre your economy. I'm telling you right now. These are loopies that are gonna dangle like a monstrosity on my ear, and one day you're gonna be like, I want it, I do. And I'm gonna be like, Temu, shopping like a billionaire, Temu. That's where you must go. Mara, try and buy these at Lovisa and tell me how much they set you back. Lovisa is just one example. My mother, she buys a whole bunch of dresses from Temu and Shine. My mother has always had expensive taste. As soon as she got introduced to Temu, I'm shopping like a billionaire, Temu. She got over it as soon as she got introduced to Temu, okay? Because the glory of the dresses and the skirts and the shirts that she was able to get from Temu that are extremely high quality, that look like something that you could buy here at Poetry in like a clothing store, or even H&M. She was like, I'm not doing, like, no. Temu Shmemu. That was my mom too. And then she spends the dough per month. Who in the world under heaven neglects a so great a redemption from South African crazy shops? Herein lies another earring set. I was like, no. Oh my goodness, I love these so much. They looked smaller on Temu, but I'm so glad that they're so big, because I have a thing about chunky earpieces. Hello, am I not rocking them right now? This is what is being the decimation, essentially, of your economy. Tell me how much these gorgeous earrings would set you back, baby, at Lovisa. Please, I'm begging you. I'm begging you. Tell me. I'm begging you. Temu, I'm shopping like a billionaire. Temu. I'm about to be looking spectacular and fashionistable, alright? It's giving no wonder GBVs all up crawling up my skirt like a bandit. Alright, look at these. Look at these. These are EOL. Okay. Listen, I need the front together or the back together. Yeah, Gemasale, how much would these set you back? Y'all? These earrings. How much would they set you back? Okay, this is the right way up. How much would they set you back at Lovisa? I mean, earrings like this, you probably even buy them for 320 rands at Lovisa. I think I got them for like 22 rand, maybe even 18 rand. 12, like Timmy's ridiculous. You could even get something like this for 12 bucks. In total, this whole package cost 800 rands. And I want to show you what in the world is in it. Now, let me put these earrings back in here. Put these earrings back in here. You know, it's funny. Like, people think, some people who are persecuting the living out of me feel sorry for me. But of course, you're going to feel sorry for a child of God that is holding fast to the Lord when they are yet to get answered prayer. And so in that incendiary activity, literally lose your minds when then they get set free, in spite of all of how much you pitied her. What is in here? I think it's, let's read. I bought earphones because the other ones that it's earphones. I bought 3 earphones because the ones that I had broke, but at the same time, I arrived with these Bluetooth headsets. I have ever since tested them from Temu. Last time I showed you these Bluetooth headsets from Temu. The other day I was walking through Discam again, feeling like I'm looking gaunt in the mirror. And by other day, I mean the exact same day where I was like just yesterday. And I walked past a certain section of Discam and they were selling these not these ones exactly, but basically Bluetooth earphones, not so much headsets. And guys, 250 bucks, 370 bucks. I think I got these for like, I don't know, 40 bucks at Temu. I got these for free on Temu because it came with one of those wheel specials where get 2 free and then buy everything else. However, the price that they retailed for was something along the lines of 45 rands. Listen, economy of scale. I have ever since then tested them, right? These Bluetooth headsets. And yo, Bluetooth headsets, you know how they be going doo-doo, 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 doo-doo on you after just like 2 hours or whatever, after an hour and a half. I have stayed with these Bluetooth headsets all night and all day, and I am yet to hear doo-doo, 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 doo-doo. They don't die. The battery never dies. And they've got an ergonomic design that just hangs on your ear so you don't ever feel uncomfortable. Like, you can walk around up and down the kitchen, music still playing until you realize, listen, I have not charged these all day, and they're still going. So essentially, they're really good for exercise, especially if you work out for very long hours. They're not going to suddenly stop playing music in your ear. I was like, get these particular headsets from Temu, from Temu. You will recognize them on the marketplace. They come in gold, which is the ones that I got, but there's a pink color that's also really cute, and I think a blue color metallic as well that's also really cute. I chose gold because gold is my thing. So is pink, but gold more so than pink, right? And they don't die. They're like Duracell, they don't die. So I basically kind of rely on them when I'm listening to content while I'm out here watching stuff on my computer, especially when I'm watching my own content that can go for hours and hours and hours, and they don't die. They don't die. But I bought headphones because my earphones passed away. They died. They made like these monstrosities that are wreaking havoc in my life, about to code, and the doctors call it. Yeah, whatever. So I needed earphones because I needed new earphones. So I bought like these from Temu, and they on 16 rand or something, like 16 bucks. Like, it's ridiculous. And one of them came in 2s, while the other one was just one of them, or 3s. I think I got 5 in total, so that I never run out. Because Temu was the kind of place where you buy things in bulk because proper you can afford to. Especially considering you don't really know until they arrive at your doorstep. You don't really know what you call this, what the duties are gonna be. So you really invest in bulk buying. So I got these wired headphones to use them to listen to my computer while sitting down. So I guess I didn't need to, because those Bluetooth headsets are really excellent. But I use this for my computer because the sound of my computer, my Mac is very old, and so therefore the sound is not coming through anymore unless you put headphones in. And that's why I bought the wired headphones. And like I said, these 2 in a packet were one sale, and they retailed at like maybe like 16 mega rands or whatever. Yeah, they retailed at 16 rand. Delete 2 wired headsets in this country, whether you buy them on Take a Lot, whatever, they might be cheap, like 84 rands or whatever, because everybody's out there Jewish shopping with the Bluetooth earphones. But 16 rands for 2 wired headsets is literally a steal, okay? Like, it's that basic. And I got them, but I also got other ones that I'm going to show you now as I'm unraveling this pack here. Like, there's a lot to go through. Temu should hire me. They should sponsor me. Like, I don't know why I'm so broke. Hello. Okay, like, hello. What in the world? More jewelry. I love earrings. I'm gonna be killing and kicking it. I mean, what? You tell me how much these would retail for at Lovi, otherwise known as Lovisa, not the prophet that's giving you lies too. No, Lovisa. You tell me. Hello? I feel like you guys are sad, but why wouldn't you be? You destroyed my life. What? Banger! Hey! I don't want to open. because these packages are locked and sealed, and I'm only gonna get to these earrings in a minute, but y'all, these are earrings. Earrings, earrings, earrings. One on the left, one on the right, one on the left, one on the right, whatever, however you want to place them. What in the world, yo? Like what? Gorgeous, okay? How much would this retail at Lovisa? Don't know. Don't know, but now I know. 270 bucks. And then what's in here? Listen. Okay, I'm gonna have to open these even though I really don't want to open them because they're being covered by packaging and whatnot. But I do believe that in here is also earrings. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Let me put you on fire. Hamalambada over. It's like the map of Africa or whatever in earring form. Like, yo, please don't come down. Two of them, they're earrings. So this is what they both look like, babies. Like, what in the world? Okay, tell me how much this would retail for at Lovisa. Tell me. Or even Foshini. The other day I went to H&M. And I saw earrings that were similar to some other ones I bought. They were similar to pretty much these ones, like two of them. And it was like a cool 180 rand for that set. And I was like, you're insane. I'm not gonna buy it for 200 whatever bucks. You're literally losing your wobbles, your nutters. What do they call a mind in that British space? You're losing your bonkers. Anyway, herein lies the stuff that I was talking about that comes inside your hair to decorate your fauxy gorgeosity. This came then in the same package with this, and all of it in total was like 23 rand. So these came together. There's another one that also is missing this package, but I'm only gonna find it now. I want to show you what a gorgeosity we are dealing with in the hair. Like, this is the one that I was actually really gunning for when I saw it, like, decorating this one model's hair. I was like, what in the world? I want it. Bring it to my doorstep. I love it. Look at that. Like, who in the world does not appreciate that? It's so oozing African. Gorgeosity is oozing a Nubian queen. I'm feeling the Nubian queen. She's so pretty. What in the world? And more of them where they came from in this excellent package. And I was like, what in the world? Who does not want to look like a Nubian fantastical? It's gorgeous. Anyway, so here's this Nubian queen looking so incredibly Nubian-esque. And I was like, what are you doing? Why are you walking away from so much gorgeosity? Otherwise known as glory mixed with gorgeosity. I was so incredibly impressed. And then look at this, you guys. Like, what in the world? I just feel as if though people are pulling our leg. They're pulling our leg. Why aren't they pulling our leg if it's all they're gonna be selling this for 340 rands at Temu? But then you not at Temu, sorry, but at Lovisa, eh? But I get still sitting over there shining on your ear, making you more Nubesque, otherwise known as Nubian-esque. It's so pretty. Look at that, it's an earring, you guys. It's actually giving wonderful cosity, otherwise known as wonderful mixed with gorgeosity. It's lovely. I can't wait to be looking really fantastical. And while I was on Temu, because I'm broke, I felt a sense of, you know, forlornness. Because of the fact that I couldn't buy dresses, but they've got such excellent clothes too. Well, the day's coming, you guys, when I'm out here getting money or salary. I'm gonna even wear gorgeous robes. I told you guys that I once had a dream where I was at the airport, yeah? Not yet Heathrow, because there I'm not going yet. They're so full of anti-Semitism. But I was at OR Tambo. I was sitting around over there wearing this gorgeous, like, wraparound dress. Gorgeous with all my jewelry. With a beautiful face beat looking like a wonderful lady from somewhere very exotic. And I'm like, yeah, I am from somewhere very exotic. It is exotic with magic. It's called South Africa. I don't want it, but it wants me to stay. But I was like, I used to love it, but now I don't love it anymore. Because it's thrown me away in a dustbin. And nobody recognizes me anymore on the street, so because nobody sees me, why would I want to stay, you know? It doesn't make sense, you see? I don't want to be sitting around over here anymore, because nobody recognizes my face even though I see it. Look at it, you guys, I'm so pretty. I kid you not, right now, it's like literally fantastic in the worst way, yeah? Are you feeling it, mate? Are you? It's earring. Are you feeling it, mate? It's an earring, yes? It's an earring. It's two beautiful butterflies. I was sitting around at Temu. Right, not Temu. Like, I confused Temu and Lovisa because probably it's like the same thing, yeah? I was there and I was sitting around and I saw earrings similar to these and they were even smaller, mate. and they were retailing for 180 whopping rand. I was like, what are you doing? You're out of your mind. You've lost your bonkers or your rockers. How cute are these two? They're so gorgeosity. I need to get through this a lot faster. I still am yet to take a shower. It's almost 3 a.m. in the morning. And then there are these, you guys. Like, you know what? I feel as if though you're all going to leave this environment very devastating. I don't know why you all do a different thing, but people are doing it anyway. So, I'm gonna show you all my jewelry. I'm gonna be looking so gorgeosity like a Nubian queen. And people will have tried to kill me, but I'm gonna be like, listen, South Africa produces beautiful people, but there's so much sorcery that nobody can breathe. So since nobody can breathe, this is what we're doing. What are we doing? We move to another country and start to get oxygen over there. Listen, you guys, nobody's gonna survive. Lovisa, you are not going to stand up on your 2 feet. It's never gonna happen. You're not going to survive what under heaven, Temu, is going to be a thunder strike in your toe. It is going to eliminate you as a human being. It is indeed going to commit a never mind human sacrifice, because you love those, a retail sacrifice. It appears your stores are dying. Here's more of these gorgeosities. Listen, you guys, I'm not joking with you, yeah? I'm not joking with you. I'm telling all the truth. They came in this backyard for like 16 tiny little mega rand. And I'm like, what in the world? Are you feeling it? Is this like New Year's Day for you? Is it like Christmas? Is it like your birthday? If it feels like your birthday, I can't relate because I feel like it's my birthday too. Every day when I open these things, but you know, my birthdays have been very heartbroken these past years, so I no longer feel anything like a birthday. This one just dangles, it merely dangles, but it doesn't necessarily wrap around anything. You can grab a singular braid and just whoop it up a braid, but I don't have braids, except at the back, you guys. No, but like, this is too thick for it. I've got a bun over here, but like my singles are pretty much straight up to there. Let me unravel it and show you how this is a scrunch hair. Let's put the scrunch hair down, and then let's unravel the cornrows. I've done a great job, haven't I? I'm growing so well in all my crafts, yeah. I'm a cornrow. Very soon I'm going to be a stylist doing your hair. If you had a very thick box braid. Oh, come on, just...